All right, welcome back, boys. We got the week 6 recap coming your way. We did very little to no prep for this week's episode, so this is probably going to be an interesting one. We're just going to dive right into it. Nick, welcome back. How are things going over there?
Things are going all right. I tried to let football back into my life this weekend. Uh, on Saturday, flipped on the Georgia game to watch my boy Brock Bowers. Watched him get hurt within the first 5 minutes. That sucked. Then I said, you know what? I'll try to have a football Sunday for the first time in a couple weeks. Flipped on the 49ers Browns game and watched Deebo Samuel get hurt in the first couple drives. So my book came recently. So I'm a reading guy now. So watch out, boys. Nick's getting literate. I would say, something to Lemp here, but I don't know if he understands what the word literate means. So I'll put it into terms that he is, more comfortable understanding. Ik lese gerne Bücher, Mushy. Thank you.
Do we get a translation for that, or are we just going to let him know what that means?
Oh, he'll know. He knows what that means, little Aryan boy.
Okay. Well, moving on to our first game of the week, as Canned Pams was the team to get the Kiffin Award this week with a massive 193 to 147 victory over yours truly, the Texas size 10 fours. I don't want to hear any more talk about how I rigged the schedule in my favor because we were just getting pooped on every week this year.
I'm not talking about this team. I can't say anything positive about the Canned Pams with their victory lapping of Nick Chubb's injury, so I'm not doing it.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to take over and do both teams here. I mean, just really take a pick. All his players really went off. None of them had a bad week, especially great performances from the receiver position. Cooper Kupp showing why he is one of the top fantasy players in the league. Jalen Waddle had a great day behind that, and Mostert just really put a sword through my heart on the day. Started off a little slow, came out and really hot in the end, got 36 points. Ravens defense adding 23 behind that. And Lemp was able to get the Kiffin Award against me because apparently everyone's just going to score them as many points as possible against me this whole year. Our boys had a good week this week, but we fell short yet again. So maybe time to start questioning our defense or something. Not our actual defense, but just the defense of our team and our ability to keep other teams off the scoreboard. But Dak had a really good day, 30 points, led all quarterbacks. Travis Kelce also had a pretty good day on Thursday, getting us off started with 21 points. Chris McCaffrey would go down with an injury, so we're going to be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, he can make a fully safe and speedy recovery. We will definitely need him for the playoffs. And then Jags defense also had a pretty good day, 25 points, 147. We're not too upset over here, but we do not have much more room for losses. We got to start creating some separation on the rest of the league. All right, moving on to our second game of the week. Maybe Nick will actually join us for this one. But we got FaZe Cav a 115 to 92 victory over Francy FaZe. Francy FaZe taking home the Lemp Award this week. And for Kevin, not a great performance from him by any means, but they were able to get it done. As you can see here, a lot of single-digit performances, but it was actually the two Lions players who would come through the most for him, both scoring over 20. He got 20 points from the Lions defense and then 28 from St. Brown in their big victory against the Buccaneers. Like I said, a lot of single-digit performances from out the rest. Not the best day from Josh Allen either. He only had 16. They would get enough to get the victory this week.
Yeah, Francie Feast, an organization with class and not filled with a bunch of assholes. I would love to talk about them. Kirk Cousins, unfortunately, playing the Chicago Bears, when the Minnesota Vikings have a chance to win the game, they're just going to try to get out of there with wins, it seems like, this year. So it was the second fewest amount of passing attempts that he attempted on the season. Not great for fantasy purposes. Vikings will take it because they got the win. The running backs played pretty well here for Matt. Bijan Robinson, not the sexiest of days, but still getting 8 targets, 21 opportunities. Like you'll take 12 points out of that. And Derrick Henry had a pretty solid day in the morning. 20 points, almost 100 rushing yards and a touchdown. The receivers, on the other hand, though, did not play well. Mike Evans only hauling in 4 out of 10 targets. You could say a couple of those were because of Maker Bayfield missing some throws. Gabe Davis didn't really do much on the Sunday night game. And then really what kind of put Matt in this week was a rough showing from Tyler Bass, missing both of his field goals, which really could have been an opportunity to score some more points and maybe make this thing close. So yeah, taking home the Lemp Award's never a good feeling here for Matt. But definitely some things to improve on. You're not going to see this week from Kirk Cousins every week. Hopefully the receivers bounce back, but this team still got a lot to look forward to. We need to start stacking some wins here soon.
All right, moving on to our third game of the week. We had Glizz Mafia. They were able to climb their way back to 500 for now, reaching 3-3 with a 111-104 win over Cleveland Steamers. And this would be a big one for Glizz Mafia, obviously. Solid performance throughout. AJ Brown with 22 points, no touchdown to support that either. So great day, even though his Eagles would come up just short against the Jets. Devastating end of that game for the Eagles. And then not the greatest of weeks from Glizz Mafia from the rest, but they did have CeeDee Lamb. He needed like 11 or 12 points, I think it was, on Monday Night Football to get the victory for this team. He was able to go out and get 19 on 7 receptions. Just continue to make catches throughout, and this team would get the win. Like I said, they get back to 500 now. We'll see if they're able to make a push for the playoffs.
So this is like the third or fourth game so far this season where we're within striking distance, and just a devastating injury just kind of puts us in on the week. I really feel like we could have won this game if we had a healthy Deebo Samuel performance. The game was kind of tailor-made for him, being a big physical, rainy game in Cleveland. It seemed like a perfect game for him. Praying that he's able to get healthy and get back out in the field soon. God knows that we need him out there. But again, this was a good, not great performance from everybody else. The injuries have been doing us in pretty much all year. Friday was pretty rough when we got the injury report and we learned any chance of a starting running back. Roshan was out. Miles Sanders was out. We lost the two most important people on our defense, both ruled out. So injuries have just been smoking us all year, and we're just kind of accepting it at this point. So I do want to take this opportunity to let everybody know that outside of Patrick Mahomes, every single person on the Cleveland Steamers is available for trade. Now, don't get that confused with the fact that we are giving people away. We've definitely received our fair share of calls so far already on Stephon Diggs, and anybody who's contacted us will let you know that we are not giving him away for free. But anybody's available right now if you want to come and get him. We're 1-5. We've been smoked with injuries all season. We kind of see the writing on the wall. The only question left right now is, Nick, are you embracing the tank? Which I would respond with, no further questions.
All right. I'm not even going to comment on that. Moving on to our fourth game.
That's why it's no further questions.
Moving on to our fourth game here. We had PC Principal. They continue to stay perfect, surprising everyone in the league, their mom, their sister, their brother, and their cousin. They improved to 6-0 with a 159-121 victory over Wallace Pluto 84.
I like how you included the surprise in your little thing, because I made it a point of emphasis to not use the word surprised, shocked, or astonished in any one of my notes. So, Coop, you opened yourself up with a button to push, and he's pushing it. So, welcome to the world, bud. But this team just continues to roll. Everybody played well again. Like, this is like, as a team manager, this is exactly what you want to see. Like Tua with a good game, Kamara with a good game, Pacheco with a solid game, Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill. I mean, the only person who really didn't play great was Cole Kmet, but God knows outside of the top, 3-4 tight ends, it's pretty much a crapshoot anyway. So I mean, you can't even, you're not even really mad at that. Breece Hall with a good showing. Miami defense, 17 points. It's like this team's firing on all cylinders right now. And they also just made a big trade to bring in Aaron Jones, who's one of the most electrifying players in the league when he's healthy. So, I mean, this team right now sitting at 6-0, firing on all cylinders. I mean, again, this team looks like the team to beat right now. yeah, not much else to say. This team's hot and they're cooking right now.
I gotta say, I'm questioning the difficulty of schedule of this team so far, but we'll see about that come this upcoming week
I
and
mean,
come the playoffs.
they've been putting up like 140 points like most weeks. So
That's true.
I
No,
mean, it's
they've
it's
been putting
been it's
points
been
up.
impressive.
It has been impressive, but that's all we're gonna say about that for right now. We're gonna move on and talk about Wallace Pluto, who's trying to drive me crazy this year. They started an illegal running back, so we had to sub that out for Jameer Gibbs, leaving them with a fat auto goose egg at the running back spot. But we'll save that for another time as well. Outside of that, not the greatest performances. Obviously, they lost, but honestly, no one spot you can complain about too much. Only single digit was from Jason Sanders. Adam Thielen had himself a great day, 27 points, and mostly everyone scored in the teens. Not the greatest today is from Burrow, but he played a lot better in real life than in fantasy, so I'm sure they're glad to see him get going again. They probably need 1 to 2 more really big performances to get him over the top, but they would come up just short. They're sitting 2-4, so expect 2 big wins come out from them from the next 2 weeks as they gotta climb their way into their normal mediocrity bowl spot. But we'll see what the future holds for this team. And moving on to our fifth and final game. Sticky Mistakes is looking to give the whole league a bunch of trouble this year. They still want their column spot. They get their fifth win of the season, 138-119 over the Philly Cheekles.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, seeing a sticky mistakes PC principal championship game would be absolutely electric. Just with everything that could be at stake there, and these two teams are both rolling right now. Sticky mistakes 5-1. We already talked about PC principal earlier. So let's go down the list here. Jalen Hurts somehow is able to outscore Justin Herbert still, even with what I would consider one of his worst performances as a professional so far. So I mean, that's good. I mean, he's basically adding a rushing touchdown every week, so that's basically a free 6 points from Jalen Hurts. So he still continues to produce for fantasy. The running backs here, Adam went out and got Zach Moss for this week in particular, because he was going to be. I don't even know if he would have had somebody to start. Oh no, wait, Chuba Hubbard ended up becoming a starter because of the Miles Sanders injury. But regardless, he didn't know that the time he made the trade. It paid off for him. He found the end zone. Receivers this week from Puka and DJ, nothing crazy to write home about, but still getting opportunities, which is a good thing. Kyle Pitts finding the end zone. Long time coming, but it finally happened. And then the real kicker here was the special teams. Justin Tucker, 6 field goals in that early morning window. Surprisingly enough, though, missed his extra point. But 6 field goals, riding home, almost 19 points in fantasy is great. Defense played well. And also Michael Pittman rounded it out with a nice 109 yards. Again, getting around 140 points, pretty solid, sticky mistakes. Like, not the greatest week, but also definitely one that they're going to, when they're going to take, improving to 5-1, as they're really looking to make a big playoff push to try to defend the column.
On the flip side here for the Philly Cheekles, devastating back-to-back loss. They've come back down to earth on their fan base. They're definitely worried over there, but there's definitely still some talent on this team. So I think their fan base maybe needs to relax and still keep their expectations high for this year. Some really solid performances throughout. Herbert still put up 22, which is not a bad day by any means. ETN with 23 of his own. Bill Maher, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. 15 points. 15 points out of kickers not just going to happen that great. So, I mean, like I said, they had some great performances, though. Just feels like when they looked across the aisle at sticky mistakes, they were just slightly better across the board, and it would just add up to get them this week. But still a lot of reason for optimism for the Philly Cheekles, I think, heading forward. We'll see if they make any moves prior to the deadline and how this rest of the season finishes out for them. And with that, we're going to take a look ahead at our Week 7 schedules so everyone knows what action we have to look forward to this upcoming week. First up, yours truly, Texas Size 10-4s we after 2 back-to-back losses, we're looking to get things right back on the right foot. We got a big matchup this week. We're looking to give PC Principal their first loss in the season. They're still perfect to the surprise of everyone. Second matchup, we got Cleveland Steamers 1-5 taking on Sticky Mistakes 5-1. Nick, how are you looking to add your second win to the left column this year and take Sticky Mistakes down a notch? Maybe poke a little hole in his ego a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been the talking point all year. We just need to have. We haven't been able to escape 1 week so far without getting an injury in our starting lineup. So we just really need a healthy week. If we get a healthy week, I feel like we can compete still. But we really, really, and I can't emphasize this enough, really need that. So pray for us.
That is always a key in the game of football. All right. Our third game of the week, we got the Philly Cheekles. They've also had back-to-back losses to fall to 3-3. They're looking to get things back on track against Francy Feast. Francy Feast 2-4. They're running out of opportunities. If they want to make a playoff run, they would probably need to win this week. Pretty much the same situation here, except Glizz Mafia has been hot lately. They've climbed back to 3-3, taking on Canned Pams. They're now sitting on what's likely their last chance. And then our third 3-3 versus 2-4 matchup, I guess, of the week. FaZe kept taking on Wallace Pluto. FaZe Kev has managed to climb back nicely. We'll see if they're able to get another win and make a push to the playoffs. Take another quick look at the standings. Sticky Mistakes now taking a 2-game lead on the Michigan division, sitting at 5-1. And in the American division, it's PC Principal with a massive 3-game lead now, sitting at 6-0. Next highest in both divisions. There's 2 teams apiece sitting at 3-3. And that will do it for us this week. Nick, any final thoughts before we get off here?
Nothing crazy here. Hope you guys enjoy football this weekend. I will not be enjoying football. I'll be enjoying this book. So I'll be learning about what happened this week right before I give it to you next week. So it'll be exciting.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. With that, we're going to sign off. Peace out.